Ships loaded with goods pass through this deep harbor in Boston. A harbor is a sheltered place along the coast where ships can dock. This harbor makes this port in Massachusetts one of the region's busiest. Right here's the harbor. Question 1. A blank is a sheltered place along a coast where ships can dock. Is it A, harbor, B, home, or C, cove? The Atlantic coastal plain. The Northeast is divided into two regions. The New England states are Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. The states belonging to the Middle Atlantic subregion are New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. The Atlantic coastal plain is one of the landforms the Northeast shares with the Southeast. This flat land along the Atlantic coast has many deep harbors. Cities such as New York and Philadelphia can easily trade with other regions and countries. This has helped to make the Northeast an important trading center. There are many bays that border the jagged Atlantic coast. A bay is a part of an ocean or lake that cuts deeply into the land. Find Delaware Bay on the map below. Clams, oysters, and crabs are found in this and other bays along the Atlantic. Hey, let's look. Where's Delaware? Right here's Delaware. See how that cuts into the land? That is Delaware Bay. That's what they're talking about right there. The Northeast is divided into two subregions. They are A. South states and North states. B. New England states and the Mid-Atlantic states. Or C. District 12 and 13. Question 3. What is one of the landforms that the Northeast shares with the Southeast? Is it A. The Atlantic coastal plain, B. Mount Rushmore, or C. The Erie Canal? Number 4. A part of the ocean or lake that cuts deeply into the land is A. River, B. Lake, or C. Bay. Number 5. What are found in the Delaware Bay? A. Clam, oysters, and crabs. B. Dolphins, sharks, and eels. Or C. Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, and giant squid. Mountain ranges. The Appalachian Mountains are a long chains of mountains that run through both the Northeast and the Southeast. These mountains are found in almost every state of the Northeast. The Appalachian Mountains are made up of several smaller groups of mountains. In the Northeast, these include the Green Mountains of Vermont, the White Mountains of New Hampshire, the Catskill Mountains of New York, and Pennsylvania's Allegheny Mountain. The Appalachians are one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. They were formed about 250 million years ago when Earth's thick crust moved, causing parts of it to sag and bend. This movement pushed some of the land high above the surface. Scientists think that these peaks once rose miles into the sky. Yet today, the Appalachians are not very high. Wind, water, and ice have worn them down. Thousands of years ago, part of the Northeast was covered with glaciers. A glacier is a huge sheet of ice that slowly moves across the land. For thousands of years, glaciers moved over some of the Appalachian Mountains. The sheets of ice carried tons of rock and soil away from the land over which they moved. This made the mountains lower and rounder. Hikers can spot deer above and other animals along the Appalachian Trail. And this is the Appalachian Trail. That's a view in one of the spots. Question 6. What is the name of the mountain chain that runs through both the Northeast and the Southeast? Is it A, Rocky Mountains? Is it B, Appalachian Mountains? Or is it C, Himalaya Mountains? Number 7. What are the names of the smaller groups of mountains that make up the Appalachian mountain chain? Select all that apply. There will be more than one answer here. Is it A, Green Mountains? B, White Mountains? C, Catskill Mountains? D, Allegheny Mountains? Which one of those make up those small mountain chains? Okay. Number 8. How old are the Appalachian Mountains? Are they A, 150 million years old? Are they B, 250 million years old? Or are they C, 300 million years old? Question 9. A huge sheet of ice that slowly moves across the land is called A, iceberg, B, ice cube, or C, glacier. The Appalachian Trail. All year long, people can be found hiking the Appalachian Trail. It stretches from Springer Mountain in Georgia to Mount Katahdin in Maine. The trail is the longest marked footpath in the world. Winding over peaks, rivers, and green valleys, the trail covers more than 2,000 miles. Suppose you are hiking the Appalachian Trail. How long would it take you if you walked 10 miles a day? The fall line. East of the Appalachian Mountains lies a low plateau. This plateau meets the Atlantic coastal plain at the fall line. This line is where the hard rock of the mountains and the low plateau meet the softer rock of the Atlantic coastal plain. Water wears away the soft rock faster than the hard rock. This creates a drop. The diagram on this page shows a waterfall at the fall line. Okay, let's come down here and look. See, up here is the hard rock in the mountains that they're talking about. Down here is the soft rock of the coastal plain. Softer. It's still hard like a rock. And look, where it goes from the softer rock to the hard rock, do you see how it has a sheer line? You can see the line of it. That's because the water takes longer to erode up here because it's harder than down here. So it's carried all of this away much faster. If we come up here, the Great Falls mark the fall line of the Passaic River in New Jersey. So here's the waterfall, and here you can actually see it. Down here, it would be the soft rock, and right here's the hard rock in the mountains. Question 10. The largest marked footpath in the world stretches from Springer Mountain in Georgia to Mount Katahdin in Maine. What is the name of this famous trail? Is it A, Appalachian Trail, B, Oregon Trail, or C, Trail of Tears? Number 11. The Appalachian Trail is blank miles long. Is it A, 1,500 miles long, 5,000 miles long, which is B, or C, 2,000 miles long. Number 12. The line where the hard rock of the mountains and the low plateau meet the softer rock of the Atlantic coastal plain is called the A. Fall line, B. Float line, or C. Hard line. Question 13. This fall line is marked by what waterfall? Be sure to look at the pictures. Is it A. The Great Falls? Is it B. Niagara Falls? Or is it C. Crystal Falls? Trees and forests. Trees need a great deal of water to grow. The Northeast is near the ocean and gets plenty of precipitation all year. All year. The forests in the Northeast have two types of trees. One is the broadleaf tree that has fairly wide leaves. The leaves of this tree change color in autumn or fall. Hickories, oaks, and maples are examples. The other kind of tree is the needle leaf. These leaves are long and thin like needles. Needle leaves do not change color in the fall or autumn. That is why these trees are also called evergreens. Pines, firs, and spruces are all examples of needle leaf. People have been enjoying the forests of the Northeast for centuries. Read how one writer described the woods near his cabin outside of Boston. Over here, this excerpt is from the book Walden, which was written by Henry David Thoreau. He's a very famous American writer. But as you can see, he lived in the 1854. Okay, so this is what he had to say. Though it is now dark, the wind still blows and roars in the wood, the waves still dash. The wildest animals do not repose, but seek their prey now. The fox and skunk and rabbit now roam the fields and woods without fear. They are nature's watchmen. What are the two types of trees in the forests of the Northeast? Mark all that apply. There will be more than one answer. Is it A, broadleaf, B, needleleaf, and C, flatleaf? Which one or two or all three of those is the right answers? Question 15. This type of leaf is long and thin, like needles. Is it A, a pine leaf? Is it B, needle leaf? Or is it C, clover leaf? This type of leaf is wide and changes color in the fall. Is it A, tea leaf? Is it B, green leaf? Or is it C, broadleaf? Okay. Question number 17. Broadleaf trees leaves blank in the fall. Do they A, start to grow? Do they B, change color? Or C, start to smell? Question 18. What is another name for needle-leaf trees? Is it A, prickly pears, B, cactus, or C, evergreens? Putting it together, the Atlantic coastal plain and mountain ranges are the Northeast's major landforms. Many of the 13 colonies were located in the Northeast, where the Atlantic Ocean helped support this area's economy. Natural waterways are still very important to the people and businesses of the busy Northeast. A lighthouse stands on the shores of Port Head, Maine. Let's look at this. A lighthouse. Do you know what a lighthouse is for? maybe. People used to live here, and they'd man it every day, 365 years a day. And this light would tell ship captains and the ships that right here is coast. It gave them, they let them see where the coast was and where not to go so they wouldn't hit the rocks. Because if they hit the rocks, it would sink their ship. Okay. What ocean, this is question 19, what ocean helps to support the Northeast economy? Is it A, the Indian Ocean? Is it B, the Pacific Ocean? Or is it C, the Atlantic Ocean?